Tech Talks, the People and Planet podcast. Today, I'm joined by Victor Penev, the founder and CEO of nutrition solutions business, Edamam. Victor, hi, how are you?
Very good. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. Really interested to learn more about this as well. Lots of different products to dig into. But firstly, it'd be great to understand the why, I guess. What's the problem here, and what's the business mission to try and solve that?
Right. Well, the problem largely, as I see it, is to help everybody on the planet eat right. So make the right food choices. And really, the problem with making the right food choices is that the information out there is quite contradictory, incomplete, not available, et cetera, et cetera. So Edamam really was set up to organize the world's food knowledge so we can help people get the right information and make the right food choices. And ultimately, I guess if you want to take it a step further, if people make the right food choices, we can live in a world without chronic conditions and mental illness because, food is the best medicine and it's preventative and cures disease, et cetera.
100% agree. And it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because there's such a minefield of information stroke misinformation out there that people don't really know right from wrong sometimes. I'm thinking straight away of, influencers on social media or, newsreels that come through about the latest and greatest, diet food, or, you should be eating this to stay and live longer, and longevity seems to be a huge thing these days. So it's nice that, this information is legitimate and people can actually access it. So tell me a little bit more about the product set then. I've just been on the website again then, and it just seemed that there are a number of different APIs.
Right. So just a little bit of a preface about the product. So to execute on our mission, we decided that the best way is to actually work with businesses where people make decisions about food rather than go direct to consumer. So, whether that's diet sites, grocery stores, dietitian offices, et cetera, ultimately we work with businesses, whether it's in healthcare, food, wellness, and so on. That necessitates that we provide B2B solutions. So our solutions are for businesses. They are API and licensed data sets, and they cover some of the major use cases that people will have, whether it's food logging, food tracking, personalized meal recommendation, personalized meal planning, nutrition analysis, whatever it is. So we have the APIs or data sets to be able to solve those use cases. Now, our clients, which are businesses, take that either as data or as an API, and they build interfaces that serve their customers, employees, patients, etc.
Got it. So talk us through some of those different APIs then.
Absolutely. So there's a few key technologies we've developed over time. One of those, and right now it's very kind of appropriate to speak about AI. But when we started 13 years ago, we started with natural language understanding, and we built a natural language understanding model specifically for the food domain, which has allowed us to do real-time nutrition analysis of any recipe, ingredient list, food with very high accuracy. And that's what distinguishes us. We have been benchmarked against humans, and we know that perform at least as well as a human nutritionist with 20 years of experience in being able to do nutrition analysis, except we do it in a split second, in less than 400 milliseconds, and it's full nutrient analysis with every allergen, diet, lifestyle, nutrients, macronutrients, micronutrients, etc. So that technology is one of our products. Essentially, it's a nutrition analysis tool that allows us to do nutrition analysis, and many customers use it, whether those are recipe sites like New York Times Cooking or Food Network or America's Test Kitchen. The data for their recipes comes from us. That's been used by restaurants, catering companies, dietitians, analyze the meals that their clients have. So that's one of our products. Another one is essentially we built a search engine specifically for the food domain, and that search engine can process very complex queries, anything that is related to foods you want to eat, you don't want to eat, any nutrient content. You can say, I want low sodium, I want magnesium to be between that value and that value. I want to be, paleo or gluten-free. My kid's allergic to peanuts. All that can be taken into account, and then we can produce personalized meal recommendations. And that sits on top of something that's very unique to us, which we built, which is a database of about 5 million recipes, which we have nutritionally analyzed and tagged for every nutrient, allergen, lifestyle, diet, meal type, dish type, cuisine, glycemic index, CO2 impact, etc. So that search engine searches through that.
Wow.
And then another one is a meal planner, which is one of our newest products. Is essentially the same thing, very personalized. You can select by any nutrient, allergen, so on, but it creates a meal plan for a week, 2 week, however many days you want, and it's very personalizable on a meal level, on a day level, on the entire plan level. So those are three of the key products, and we do have other products, but I think those are the ones that most often.
Fantastic. So, Victor, you've been doing this for, I think, what was it, 13 years, did you say?
About, 13 years.
What's your background? Share a little bit more on how you arrived at setting up Edamam.
Well, I am a serial entrepreneur. So being starting companies and running startups for about 30 years now. So that's kind of my background. My claim to fame is, I co-founded and built and sold Bulgaria's largest internet company back in the day, sold it in 2008. So Edamam was just what we do next. And strangely enough, I was actually going to go into media business because I've run a media business before that. But I am a very passionate cook, been cooking for over 30 years, almost every day. So as I was looking, I took a year off after selling my last company. As I was looking to something new to do, I realized one day that I'm thinking about food 4 or 5 hours a day. So might as well do something about it. So kind of combined my twin passions of food and technology and try to figure out what we can do that can make the world a better place. And that's how we ended up at Edamam.
Ah, got it. Interesting stuff. I mean, we talked about it just then. 13 years. You're a serial entrepreneur, but it's rarely plain sailing startups. Always interested to know, because there's a lot of fellow founders that listen to this show as well. Always good to share challenges and how you've navigated those over the years.
Well, I mean, challenges are constant. That's part of life. And I think part of it is, and I learned that during my last company, is psychological stability. So that's just as a trick to anybody that's entrepreneur. The ups and downs of every day running a company are constant. And you can either ride the roller coaster and really freak out, or you can enjoy the ride. And part of it is not to get too excited when things start working out, and not to get too upset when things going south. So that's the reality in terms of daily practice. In its meditation, it's just basic awareness and being able to kind of distance your personal feelings and experience from what's happening in the business. There's always a new day. The sun's gonna rise tomorrow again. So that is an attitude I think is important. Particular challenges, I mean, there are sometimes, things that make or break a business. So for us, it's been, I would say 6-7 years ago, we started as a direct-to-consumer company. And at some point, we realized, A, we're not executing on our mission, but B, there's no really good business plan there. So we needed to pivot to a B2B. And that is, something that once you've geared towards a particular solution, recognizing that the time has come to change is important, because ideally you stay the course, right? Through the ups and downs, and because you otherwise, if you flip flop too much, you're never going to be able to execute. But that is one of the challenges that we faced, and that was relatively, it wasn't easy, but we managed to do it. And so I would say, as an advice to entrepreneurs, just always be aware of the market dynamics of clients and whatnot, and and know that you can change things, but don't go too fast. And I know it's more of an art than a science.
And you know, we mentioned at the top of the show there that food is the best medicine. You're a passionate chef. Do you feel that your lifestyle has allowed you to be successful as well in terms of, you know, you are what you eat, essentially, is the slogan, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and for me, it's not just food; it's everything. I think to actually do well in the marathon of running a company, you need to be healthy. So healthy habits is one of the key components of actually running a company. So I try not to work more than 6 or 7 hours a day. And for a lot of entrepreneurs, this is like, you know, what?
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
12 hours, but ultimately, if you burn out, you're most likely going to fail. So you have to do that. And you know, I've developed my own routine. I do work almost every day, but I not more than 6 or 7 hours. And I make sure, you know, I sleep well, I exercise, I meditate, I have time for friends and whatnot. I live life, you know.
Sure,
So the business
sure.
cannot take over your life. So it is very important. And yes, eating the right food definitely helps, you know, because
Yeah, of course.
you don't get sick. You know, that's the bottom line.
Absolutely. And you split your time between the US and Bulgaria.
Well,
How is that a challenge? How does that work for you?
it is a challenge. Look, our engineering team is in Bulgaria. Our front office is in the US. About probably 70% of our clients are North American. So managing that across time zones, we've been very distributed company from day one, you know,
Yeah,
2011. So way before it became fashionable during the pandemic to be a distributed, you know, company that work from home type of thing.
yeah,
So for us, managing the team and whatnot is not the challenge. It's more working with the clients, you know, because they do expect you to be available at their time zone, and that's not always possible. And so it is navigating that, um, you know, kind of shortens the time you're available, and then you know you make it work, but it is a challenge, and it's not something that you can easily solve.
yeah. And I can empathize with that. Most of my clients as well are in probably the East Coast of the US, which is 5 hours behind me. But you know, it allows for opportunities, I find, in terms of structuring your day.
Yeah,
You know, because most of my communication time is done in my afternoon, which means that
yeah.
my morning time is, you know, planning, strategy, whatever else I'm doing, family time, whatever else it is. So yeah, I think it's quite good. But yeah, Victor, interested to understand what comes next now. What's anything exciting that you can share for our listeners?
Well, business-wise, I mean, the bigger goal for me is the whole food as medicine. You know, it's Edamam is part of the solution, but the overall solution is let's get everyone on the planet to eat the right food and prevent chronic condition, cure chronic condition. So if I had my druthers, I would live in a world where everybody lives to 120 without chronic conditions and mental illnesses. So that is kind of what's keeping me excited. And there's kind of a 50 to 60-year vision from where I stand, and probably more if I'm still alive or whoever takes over. Um, Very kind of du jour topical. We've been playing quite a bit with generative AI, and I think that is it's obvious, but that is a game changer, and we're excited about the opportunities because we think we can eventually build really a virtual nutritionist for everyone that's fully personalized, knows who you are, and is able to recommend in real time the food that you need to eat based on, you know, what you ate for breakfast, where you are physically, what the biochemistry of your blood is,
Wow.
what you like, what you dislike, and et cetera, et cetera. This is all available technology, just needs to be piled up together and created into one product. So that's exciting.
That is exciting. That's certainly something that I'd benefit from as well.
There you go.
Victor, it's all we've got time for. Really glad that you joined the show. Thank you so much. Guys, this is Victor Penev, the founder and CEO of Edamam. Thanks
Thank
again.
you.